What's right around the corner in your life? Stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Welcome back to another Pick a Card reading. In today's reading, we are going to be looking at what is just around the corner in your life. So we have three groups to choose from today. We have the cards face down for this reading, so I've put these crystals here for you to choose from. So group number one, you have the clear quartz crystal. All right, group number two, you have the selenite heart. And group number three, you have this cluster crystal, white cluster crystal. I'm not sure what it's called. If you guys know the name of this, can you put it in the comments, please? It was a gift, and yeah, I would love to know. So make your selection, and if you feel called to more than one card or crystal, that's totally fine. Use your intuition to guide you to the readings that feel like they have the messages for you, and then take what resonates within those readings. Use the timestamps linked in the description box or the chapter notes below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we will see you there. All right, hi group number one, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the clear quartz crystal, and this is a clear quartz point. Quartz is really great for expanding the crown chakra. It can be used in replacement of any other crystal, so it's a great sort of utilitarian crystal. It's like the Swiss Army knife of crystals. And yeah, it's great for amplifying, setting intentions, clearing, manifestation, all sorts of good stuff. So let's find out what card you chose. Trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. Well, this is perfect for a signifier for this type of a reading that we're looking at in terms of, what's just around the corner. So it looks like there's something that is changing. The cycles of life are moving as they tend to do. And what's around the corner is some kind of a transition or growth in the form of a necessary change. Now, you may have been expecting this, you may not, but let's get some more information. What can group number one expect right around the corner, please? What is coming right around the corner for group one? The Empress. But she did want to come out reversed. So I'm actually not reading that as a bad thing in this context, group number one. It just kind of feels like there's something that has been needing to grow, and whatever situation you've been in up until this point has not facilitated that. Like, it hasn't allowed it. The environment or the situation has not been conducive to that growth, and I think that's why there's this necessary change or cycle that's happening. It's allowing for this replenishment and renewal to take place so that you can grow and become more fertile and more creative and more self-expressive. Oh, and also more grounded. I just got that message really clearly as well. Okay, let's get one of these cards as well. What can group number one expect around the corner, please? Don't stop. Don't stop, group number one. Because this growth, this change, this cycle, the turning of the wheel is really, really helping you. It is expanding you big time. Okay, let's get a Living Waters card on table two for you. Group number one. What can they expect? Gentle force, consistency, persistence, patience, and playing the long game. Wow. So yeah, it's like these cycles of time are long. It's these unfolding patterns, like the natural rhythms of the seasons, like we saw in your signifier card, Trust the Seasons. So it's these long, year-long cycles, or even if we're looking at seasons and the compartmentalization of that, it's kind of like 3 seasons, 3 seasons, 3 seasons, 3 seasons. We have the 3 seasons. Now, this is not going to apply in all latitudes, right? It depends on where you live. But if we were going to break it up systematically, it would be January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, right? So if we're segmenting it out. So I feel like there's something here that it's a transitioning from one season to the next in your life. And what you're being called to do here is to sort of gently persist. So you're not pushing it, which would come from an energy of resistance or impatience. Instead, you're just trusting the natural flow, which I think is another great reason why the Empress is here, because the Empress is the feminine energy, which is about receptivity, slowing down, feeling, embodying, being very grounded. And it's through that receptivity that you can get into the natural flow of life and not allow these changing of the seasons to kind of throw you off your game. Instead, it just feels very natural, very subtle. It's kind of like when we go from one season to the next, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like you go to sleep one night and you wake up in the morning, it was fall and now it's winter. Sometimes that's the case, but usually it's very gradual. And so it's kind of like incrementally, day by day, gently, you start to see the leaves fall. You start to see more frost on the ground, and then eventually it's snowing. But it's like you don't even really realize it because it's happened so gradually. That's what I'm seeing here. It's a gentle force that's being exerted in your life, and you're going from one season to the next. So I'm really curious to find out what this season is. So let's get some tarot cards. We're going to use the Adventure Tarot because I feel like that's just relevant. You have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Okay. I feel like this needs to sit here for some reason. And I actually do feel called to a different deck. Let me get the other one. The Final Rose Tarot. Okay. What is this season change for group 1? What is this season change that's around the corner? Okay, we're going to take all of those, and I also feel that one too, so let's take a look. The Optimist, Page of Rings. Sorry, the lighting. There we go. So I just keep hearing gently. So there's something that you're inching forward on and being optimistic about, not stopping, not slowing down, but also not pushing or forcing. It's very, very slow and careful and methodical and yeah, it just feels very natural, very natural. The Advisor. Okay. Let's just keep going. You've got the Six of Flutes, Butterflies. The Nine of Mirrors, Blindsided. The Four of Rings, Possessive. And the Six of Mirrors, Silver Lining. Okay. So group number 1, I feel like this change is setting you free, and it is doing it in a very gentle way. That's what I just keep getting. But there's something about this that has kind of been challenging for you, or there's something about the season that you're coming out of that has been challenging for you. You may have felt like there was some heartbreak, or you were, that's specifically what I'm getting here, is there was some kind of a heartbreak, or you felt like you had to be in either pushing energy, or you weren't receiving what you needed, and there was sadness in that. You felt maybe constricted, but it's like there's this optimism, because what's around the corner here, group 1, is this changing of the seasons. So if this past season was really difficult for you, and you felt trapped, and you felt encumbered, and you felt like your needs weren't being met, if you were like in a state of depression or disappointment, or perpetually feeling unstable and insecure in your finances, perhaps because we have the Ace of Pentacles, or even in your love and romantic relationships, or just your emotional well-being, I feel like the shift that's happening is this season change from almost like winter to spring. And that's not literal, but it's, I mean, who knows? It could be for you. It could match the seasons depending on when you're watching this. But it feels like you're going from this cold, desolate place into this rebirth. And it's happening very slowly, but very, very surely. So it's kind of like, it's the marching of time. It can't necessarily be stopped, and it's up to you to just allow yourself to flow with that, because ultimately it's going to be for your benefit. If you can just let go and allow this to happen, you're going to feel a lot more free and light. That's what I'm getting. It's like the season you were in was very heavy and dense, and you're moving into a very light and free season. So really what I'm seeing here is I feel called to advise you, with the advisor card here. I feel called to advise you to embrace this change as it says here in the main card that you chose, because the more that you can embrace this very gently and allow yourself to keep going. Like, don't give up. I really feel like don't stop. And the optimist is telling you to keep going. Don't give up. Things are going to improve. Things are going to get better is what I want to say, group one. And if you've been struggling with certain things, there's going to be a silver lining. There's going to be something that you see out of this situation that will make it make sense eventually. And that might not be right away, but you will see that silver lining. And I think it's because you're choosing to keep going. You're choosing to persist, and you're playing the long game here. It's like you're willing to wait for the good things of life because you know that they're coming. And if you've really doubted that they are coming, you've been drawn here to this reading today to hear that they are coming and to know that they are coming, to align with that template, that blueprint, and that energetic signature, because that's what Spirit wants for you. That's what the universe wants for you. I do want to get some coffee cup oracle cards for you as well. Oh, this one. Wisdom Keeper, the whale. Can you guys even see that? There, that's better. You have the advisor card and you have Wisdom Keeper. So I feel like you're going to be getting some really good advice, group number one, and that is what's going to also help you to not give up. If things have been challenging, I feel like you're going to be talking to someone and being able to work through that and see the silver lining of it, and then make some changes and work with the natural flow of these cycles so that you do feel more free. You do feel more liberated. That's the energy I'm getting, is like liberation. And this could be talking to, I was going to say counselor, literally talking to a counselor. If you've been through like a breakup or a loss of some kind, it could be going and talking to a therapist or a counselor. But right before I was about to say that, I heard financial advisor as well. So this could be, if it's financially related, this could be going and talking to somebody who's very good with money and who can help, because they keep this wisdom and they can advise you on what to do, what investments to make, or how to get rid of debt, or how to invest your money in a productive way you're gonna see the silver lining on whatever was holding you back and keeping you in this state of I just heard dependency, but I was gonna say constriction. So yeah, dependency is kind of like a state of constriction. Oh, we have the moose, acceptance and eccentric. I feel like acceptance is really the energy I'm getting from this. Being able to accept these changes, I think, is going to be your greatest gift, and it's going to lead to the best outcome of this transition or this change around the corner for you, group one. Because if you can accept this, if you can just embrace this change and know that it's actually happening for your betterment, it's happening so it can set you free and lighten your load. And if you can just choose not to give up and keep going and see the silver lining and choose to be that optimist, the eternal optimist is what I just heard. Yeah, be the eternal optimist. Don't let anything clamp your heart up. If you've had challenges in relationships, if you've been brokenhearted and blindsided by toxic love or unhealthy relationships or breakups and things like that were very heartbreaking, they're saying don't give up. Don't lose your hopeful romantic. Don't lose that bright side of you that sees the world through these beautiful, loving, rose-colored glasses. I really feel like the optimism is what's going to help you to see the best of this change that's coming around the corner, group one. And again, you're going to connect to somebody. It could be a physical person, or it even could be like a spirit guide, because the advisor and the wisdom keeper, these can be spirit guides that are helping to lead you to freedom. Yeah, I got that message very clearly just now. They're leading you to freedom. And if you can heed those little nudges and not stop, not give up, really feel into the situation and go with the flow here, but do it in a way that's very consistent, persistent, but not forcing. I just keep repeating that message, and I'm sorry, but like I have to, because it keeps coming through so strongly. Don't force it. Just allow yourself to move with this natural flow of the seasons, and that's when you're going to see things really start to expand for you. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to gather up the cards and I'm going to lay down a little charm mat here, and we're going to get some additional information from the charms. Okay, so I thought I'd try using this little like silicone mat so that the charms aren't so loud on the table, because sometimes that bugs me and they're probably going to be easier to pick up this way too. Okay, so group number 1, what else can they expect around the corner, Spirit? Okay, so the first one I'm seeing is strong is beautiful. Yeah, strong is beautiful. You're being asked to be strong through this phase, because this transition into the next sort of season of your life is going to be a very, very beautiful thing. And you've had to be strong. I definitely feel that from you, group 1. You've had to really endure a lot. And Spirit wants to reward you for your patience and for your trust, because I feel like you have been able to surrender to a fairly high degree. I also feel this one. Oh my God, look at that. Weakness is a choice. No way. You have strong is beautiful and weakness is a choice. So it's interesting that there's sort of like this dichotomy between strength and weakness. And I think it's going to be about embracing both of those, because they have value in each one. But the weakness doesn't have to be embraced in the sense that you let it rule your life. It's more so acknowledging that it's there, accepting it for what it is, and then being able to choose strength instead. Yeah, I see the butterfly really calling me here. So you're going to be doing some serious transformation, group number 1. And this next season of your life, I keep getting this message of the silver lining. We saw that in the cards, but we also have the cloud here. So I really see a silver lining to this that maybe you don't see quite yet, but it's going to really help you. Or you're going to be very satisfied with it, because you also have these 2, like literally 2 of the shells with the pearls. And one of them is the gold one, which is like super extreme value. And this one is value. So there's more value than you realize in this silver lining. And this next season of your life is going to show you that. Okay, I want to read these 2 charms together, because I feel like they're connected, and not just because they came out kind of next to each other, but just energetically they're linked. You've got the chainsaw and the plane, the airplane. And what I'm getting from this is that you need to cut things out of your life right now and kind of prune things up a little bit, and embracing that part of the cycle. It's like letting go of the leaves, and then you're going to be free to expand. I was getting that from the butterfly energy in the cards, from the balloons here, even in this card right here, and then the butterfly that we have there. It does feel very much like you are becoming lighter. You're becoming lighter, and that's going to allow you to be more free. I keep getting that word liberation. Yeah, so you're going to be liberated in this next season of your life, and it's just kind of like being patient and waiting for that to happen, by allowing it to unfold and remaining persistent and consistent with your optimism. And we have this little tree. I don't know if it's not even really going to focus, but it's like a little tree with these little ornaments on it, I think. It's reminding me of the seasons again. So it's like the trees changing. I did just get a message about Christmas. Okay, so this something could be pivotal happening around Christmas time in the month of December. This is a timeless reading, so it doesn't necessarily have to be the December that's approaching right now. If you're watching this at the time that the video is airing, it's the very end of November 2023. But I feel like there's going to be something that happens in the month of December, possibly around Christmas, that really shows you, first of all, how strong you are. And second of all, I feel like there's going to be a lot of value that comes in, and there's going to be some clarity on what moves you're going to need to make next. And then we have the key. It's like a flower key. So it's like this winter to spring energy. I keep getting that winter to spring. There's something maybe even that's happening in December into the spring months. I just heard March in my mind. Yeah, okay. So it could be something that is catalyzed in December and then unfolds through into March of next year, or the whichever March is upcoming from when you're watching this. And So, okay, so it's literally, because I was saying before, it feels like it's going from winter into spring. And I was taking that as a metaphor for the type of, constriction that you've been feeling, or that sort of hopelessness or emptiness or coldness, and then moving into more warmth and growth and things starting to bloom and prosper in your life. But I think it could even be quite literally, like from this December, something's catalyzed and this change starts to unfold, and you're just being called to really ease into it and go with it, because by the spring you're really going to have these doors open to you. So it's like you're getting the key in the winter months, and then you have the key by the spring and you can open the door. And you've got the friends charm. So this one, it feels very much like you're bridging the gap. Maybe you're connecting with, I just heard old friends. You're connecting with old friends. Interesting. And I want to put it here next to the chainsaw on the plane. So you could be changing, you could be cutting out relationships with friends who are old friends who don't resonate with you anymore. And that's freeing you up to go and connect to other people, maybe even traveling to meet new people. But I also feel like the plane here can symbolize ascension or elevation. And so it's like your frequency is rising as you're going from one season to the next. And as you're vibrating higher, you're attracting new people. And I think that's also going to necessitate that you do some of that pruning, because this is only half of the best friends equation. So it's either you're cutting people out and welcoming in new ones and bridging the gap to new people because you're raising your vibration, or something like that. And you have the queen bee. Yeah, I keep getting spring. Spring is going to be important. There's going to be a lot of value in spring. You're going to see, they said you're going to get your crown in spring because you've remained strong and optimistic. It's like you didn't give up. And so something is being given to you in the spring. And I keep being drawn back to the gold clamshell with the pearl. So I really feel like, or oyster shell. And I really feel like this spring, or this thing is really going to happen around that time, and it's going to be super, super valuable. And we have the curly tree. I just heard life purpose. Okay, I've never gotten that from that tree before, but that's what I just saw, and it was connected to the queen bee somehow, indirectly, and the value as well. Let me think about that. Oh, the queen bee is like the empress. They took me back to the Empress card in my mind. The queen bee is very much like the Empress. So let me turn it around. And this is Giselle from Enchanted. And I really love this deck. I love the Art Nouveau style. And look at this, the flowers in her hair. Like, it feels like spring as well. And I didn't even notice that before. But the queen bee is creative force. And that's what the Empress is. And it's like this fertility, really, you're able to create and create and create and create. And it's part of your life purpose. And I think that's what's going to be manifesting 10 times more value than you ever expected. It's like you expected this, but you're getting this. You know what I mean? And I think that's why you're really taking off and needing to make some pretty aggressive changes around the corner here. And it's going to take some strength, but you're going to choose strength, because that is what's going to make your life beautiful. It's like you're putting in the work to be able to prune what needs to be pruned and to move towards what you've really wanted all this time. And it's connected to your life purpose. It could have something to do with, I'm getting like magic and expansion, fairy tales, happily ever after, maybe helping other people to do that. If you are the advisor in this equation, but you could be getting advice that helps you to do that as well, and release any attachments, continue to see the optimism, and it's like creating something new. You're able to create something new as you accept this, and you change your approach is what I'm getting. Group number 1, you're changing your approach somehow. I'm not really quite sure how, but you're changing it. Let's look at this charm. You have the little black flower with the pearl in the middle, so another pearl. It definitely feels like a lot of value. But I'm getting this message that I need to pull another card from this particular deck, because it was calling pretty loudly, and we only got one card from it. So let's find out, what is this purpose? What is this life purpose? Because that's what I'm really curious about here. You have the Four of Pentacles reversed. And I did just hear the word sharing. You're meant to be sharing something. Okay. You have the Hierophant in reverse as well. And look at this one. I love it. He's like a guru, like a hippie, flower power, peace, love, all of that. I love that. And it's interesting because these are two very opposite energies. This one's very, hold on. Now it's like stuck to the mat. No. There. This one's like very miserly, capitalist, and this one's very like the opposites. We have two extremes here. And since they came up in reverse, I'm going to put them upright just so we can really see the imagery there. But I feel like there's something about this dichotomy between the capitalist system and some kind of rebellion against that to advise people or share in a way that is more authentic and loving. It's like creating something that can be capitalized on, but it's not feeding that system of weakness. It's actually creating strength through some kind of independence and creating hope for people is what I feel as well. You're going to be creating hope for people and yourself. And it's like through living some kind of a dream life. And you have the King of Wands reversed as well. Sorry, Knight of Wands. Sometimes I misread king and knight because my brain doesn't read the whole word, every letter. It just sees the K, the N, and it's like the K, the N, and the G, and it's like, that's king or that's knight. Maybe I'm slightly dyslexic. I don't know. But we have the Knight of Wands reversed. So what's really standing out to me is this little horseshoe that he's got, the alligator has on its hindquarters, and that reminds me of a cutie mark from My Little Pony. I love My Little Pony. I loved it when I was a kid in like the 80s and 90s, and I love it now in like the reboot version of it. And the cutie mark is your purpose. So the cutie mark is connected to what your magical skill or talent is, what you're really good at, and what you end up doing and sharing with your friends, right? And the whole concept of My Little Pony is friendship is magic. So it's like you're going to be sharing something with a group of friends or with people that you love, and it's going to be part of your purpose. And it's when you're doing that, it's going to be very blessed. Like you're going to be super, super lucky in this next stage around the corner, group one. And it's like you're raising people's hearts because you had your heart crushed, but you recovered. You chose strength instead of weakness. You chose not to become a victim, but to choose, you like rose from the ashes is what I'm seeing, group one. And because of that, you have this purpose and you have this like flame within you to share this information or this healing or this advice. Like you could be the advisor, and by sharing this information, it's like you're liberating people, you're freeing them, you're shifting their perspective. I also see you traveling. I'm getting that message again. So you could be called to go on some kind of an adventure, meeting new friends. Like I keep getting that message, and it helps you find your purpose. It really helps you to become more fertile, to expand, to lighten yourself frequency wise, and lighten yourself in terms of, you know, what you're able to accomplish. And I feel like like look at all of his little sidekicks. He's got these little geckos that are on his hat and on his arm. It feels like that reminds me of the movie Tangled, you know, like the Rapunzel movie where she's got that little gecko friend. And yeah, it feels like friends are going to be important. You're going to have little advisors because that little gecko friend would kind of be like, no, don't do it or whatever. Or yeah, she wouldn't sometimes listen to him, but it was, you know, it's like having friends that you can kind of turn to and trust and rely on. And, I think you stepping into your purpose is really kind of catalyzing these friendships in coming into your life and pruning out any of the old ones that are no longer meant to be there so that you can really thrive and grow. So I think that's why it's like there is some level of disappointment that you may be going through right now, or that this previous season of your life has really sort of had as a core theme. But the reason for that is because you are moving into this whole new lifestyle, is what I just heard. Yeah, it's a whole new lifestyle that is a lot more free. It's like you're not under the thumb of anyone. You're able to choose for yourself, and you have these wonderful friends that are around you whom you can advise, and they can also advise you. It's like it's very reciprocal, and you feel really supported and secure. That's what I'm getting. things become super fertile and you're able to create, you're able to express yourself, you're able to travel, you're able to just live a very light and free life that is full of value, like way more value than you expect. And yeah, it has to do with your purpose. I'm really curious about what this purpose is, so excuse me for being nosy, but I just want to like get another card. What is this purpose? What is this purpose? Page of Swords. And I'm just feeling called to pull them upright because even, I think I'm just holding the deck. Yeah, I'm just holding the deck upside down. Oh, look at that. You have the Knight of Swords as well. Knight, Knight. So it feels like, look at that. He's pointing at a X marks the spot on a map. So again, I think travel is part of your purpose, and communication, teaching, speaking, sharing. I keep getting that message of sharing. Sharing is caring. Sharing is friendship. Yeah. I just heard sharing your perspective is part of your purpose. I'm getting, I don't know if this is literal or not, but it kind of feels like a travel vlogger. You know what I mean? Like traveling the world and sharing the perspectives you gain, or communicating or teaching or sharing like how your perspective has changed through your travels in life and what you've been through. I'm getting like this energy of Eat, Pray, Love. It feels very much like a memoir, a very, very profound part of your life is right around the corner, group number one. And this is probably going to be something that you want to document, okay? Like that's how big this is, and that's how much value is going to be in it. And that's the silver lining, is that everything, all of the struggles and hardships that you've been through leading up to this point have been part of the catalyst of that story. It's like that's a pivotal part of the story, like in Eat, Pray, Love, when she starts out so unhappy and so constrained and so conflicted within herself. It's like she's trapped in a life that she built, and she even says in the book and in the movie, it's like she's like, I actively participated in building every aspect of this life, and yet I felt completely disconnected from it and trapped. And it's like that pain and suffering is the catalyst to help you to burst out of the chrysalis and become the butterfly and like travel the world and get all these new perspectives and meet these new people, form these connections, find your purpose, be the advisor that people really need just through sharing what you've learned on your journeys. And it really helps people a lot. So keep a journal, or start a vlog, or a blog, or just maybe you're just sharing this with your friends. It doesn't have to be like made public, but it just feels very profound what you're going through. And I think it's going to help a lot of people. And it's certainly going to help you to grow and expand and ascend. Okay, so that is what I see for you, group number one. What a wow reading. I was going to say something. I was going to say like, what a wonderful reading. And then it came out, wow. So yeah, I think you're going to be saying, wow. You're going to be saying, wow, I did not see this coming. But that's why we're here doing this reading, to give you a little peek around the corner. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope this reading helped. I'm sending you so much love and blessings for this change of seasons in your life into so much value, purpose, and ascension. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number two. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what is right around the corner for you. You guys chose the selenite heart crystal. And this is really good for cleansing, purifying, clearing. Oh, I forgot group one's crystal. We'll just put that up there and put yours here instead. I've got another selenite thing here too. So this is really helpful for purifying, cleansing, clearing, and it's good for clearing other crystals too. So yeah, it clears itself as well. All right, so you have the rose thread, inner call, soul led, the mystic, and living courageously. So group two, I feel like you are about to walk into a path that you are being called into very intuitively. And on this path, you're going to forge a new way. It feels like this is the unbeaten path. It's the unwalked path. It's something that not a lot of people have done. So it's like kind of overgrown, you know, you're kind of having to forge your own trail. And there's something about the mystic that's really sticking out to me here. It's like it takes courage to forge this new path and to listen to that inner call and be soul-led when it might be challenging to do so because the path has not been cleared before you. So you're kind of being a little bit of a pioneer here in this next stage of your life around the corner, group number 2. You have the pink dolphin, celebration, fun, unbridled joy, and an open heart. Well, I love that. So this is going to be something that feels very fun for you, even though it's such a strange thing. I'm getting like both energies. I'm getting that it's challenging and it's hard work, but because it's soul led, it's actually really fun and you enjoy it. So it's kind of like they keep showing me in my mind this person walking through a forest or through a jungle that's very overgrown, and they have a machete in their hand and they're like hacking their way through. Now, obviously, I don't like killing plants and stuff like that, but in this metaphor, or in this analogy, I should say, it's kind of like you are having fun hacking away at these things and like clearing a path, because it's kind of like letting you get your energy out, and there's something cathartic about it. It's like being soul led in this way really feels good. It feels playful, even though it's taking a lot of effort. Wow, you have the Death card with Snow White here. So I do feel like innocence is important in this path, or on this path around the corner here. But the Death card is a change, a transformation, a transition from one state of being to the next, or one state of consciousness to the next. But our consciousness really does have an impact on our state of being. So there's a kind of two ways of saying the same thing. And that's another thing that I really think of when I look at Snow White here in regard to this previous pink dolphin card. It feels very much like unbridled joy through this open-heartedness. It's like being trusting. It's trusting your soul to lead you in the right direction. It's trusting yourself and being open to where this path is leading you. I think some of the challenges here may be around discernment, but because Snow White took the apple from the Wicked Witch, she trusted her when she shouldn't have. But for the most part, her trust was a good thing. And it led her to make connections that she wouldn't have if she hadn't been so open-hearted. And I feel like the only thing that is kind of challenging you here is to live courageously through these unknown things that maybe you haven't addressed before or you haven't experienced. And that's what may feel a little bit, oh, look at that. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. Yeah, that may feel a little bit disruptive, or that may feel a little bit like they shake your life up. That's kind of the challenging energy that I'm getting. That's the hacking away and clearing the path. It's like it's hard. It's a little bit destructive. But at the same time, if you can go at this with a very innocent, open heart, I think that you're going to see a lot there. You're going to see a lot of progress there. Okay, let's get some tarot cards. So for group number 2, what is right around the corner? What is this death process? Page of Cups. Okay, I'm just going to keep going because I feel like there's more information I need to put that in context. I did feel this card. The 7 of Wands as well. Okay. I feel like you're confronting something. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You're confronting something, and you're doing so very courageously. You've been following your soul, and your soul is leading you to confront some barriers that have been in your way. And that's why I keep seeing that person with the machete hacking their way through the bush and the undergrowth. It's like you've had to really face these things and not try to find the path of least resistance, but instead it's like trusting yourself to take this path that's more of a straight shot, but that is a little bit more challenging. That's what it feels like. It's like it's challenging in some way. Why? 5 of Cups. Well, look at the dolphin here in this card, and we've got the pink dolphin. Dolphins are always about joy and play and fun, and I just heard the word frivolity as well. They're very like open-hearted, playful, innocent types of creatures, and they really, really benefit from relationship. Like they need their pod, they're social creatures, they need connection. They're very emotional and highly, highly intelligent beings. They are like non-human people, and it's so cool. Dolphins even have their own dialects. Like they, from different regions to regions, they have different ways of communicating. And so dolphins from one region will have difficulty communicating with dolphins from another because it's speaking a different language. They also have very high problem-solving abilities, abstract thought, creativity. Yeah, just that's what I feel like. This is you following those aspects of your soul, and that's what's making it so fun. And it's like you're letting your joy just lead the way, and it feels really really cathartic. Yeah, I just keep getting this energy of catharsis. Like it's like you're finally just letting yourself be free to do what you want to do instead of doing what other people are expecting you to do, or the things that society has said you need to do or should want to do. And it's like you're like, I'm just going to do what feels right for me because I don't even care anymore. The point of life is to be happy, and if I'm not happy doing what everyone else expects of me, then screw it. I'm just going to, dash it all. And I just heard that. That is not a phrase I would ever say. Dash it all. I'm just going to go and do what I want. And you're going to build it your way. It's like you're going to you're going to break things apart and then rebuild it. And I think there's going to be a little bit of, it takes courage to do this because you're going to have to let go of some things that really were not making you happy, were not satisfying. And maybe there's going to be other people who don't agree with you, because I do see opposition coming. And I think maybe that's why you really have to stand your ground here with the 7 of Wands and keep forging your path. Like, don't look back. Don't let them stand in your way and say, hey, that's the wrong direction. Listen to your soul because it knows the truth. I want to clarify the Death card here. The 2 of Pentacles. The Death card and the 2 of Pentacles. I feel like I need one more for that. Can I clarify the Death card, please? 4 of Swords. Oh, right. Look at that. It's like when Snow White she ate the poisoned apple and she's in that eternal sleep. And she's like lying in the coffin until true love wakes her up. What is that? Okay, before I forget, I'm going to pull this card off the top because it felt like it needed to be here. So Strength, you have the Strength card, and it's reversed, but in this case, I'm reading it as inner strength because that's what I feel from it. And it's living courageously through this inner strength, forging your own path, not giving up. But what I wanted to mention here is that I noticed these 2 cards both have platters with cups on them. So it's like something's going to be emotionally offered up to you on a silver platter. And it's kind of like you will have to use your discernment to choose whether you want that or not. Because it may be for you, it may be not. And I think that it's going to take strength to say no to something that you may have thought that you wanted, but really your soul is calling you in a different direction. And so you might feel like a bit conflicted about that or a bit in 2 minds about it. But I think if you really just tune into your soul and listen to what your heart is calling you to do, you'll be able to gladly choose those 2 cups because they're just a much better fit for you. And you're going to, instead of grieving what you weren't able to choose or what you shouldn't choose, but even though you wanted it on some level, I don't know what this is, but it's like you wanted it on some level, but it's not good for you. And so you're going to choose where your soul is leading you, which is a little bit of a harder path. It is going to require more effort, but it's also, like I said, going to be so much more fun. So it's worth it, but for some reason it feels like it's going to take inner strength to choose the thing that is best for you, to use your discernment. Yeah, I just keep getting that energy of discernment. Oh, they want me to get a different deck now for that. Okay. Do the Final Rose Tarot. Oh yeah, because she's holding a rose in her hand. The Final Rose. Quality time. The 6 of Rings. Okay. I feel like you're going to be giving your joy and your soul quality time, because the 4 of Swords, it feels like instead of choosing what was not for you and not using your discernment and then feeling disconnected from yourself as a result, or suffering like the fate of this curse or whatever. It's like instead you're going to choose this inner strength to opt for the thing that really feels more fun and that allows you to be more free and unbridled. You know, it's like you're choosing you're just choosing your own path, and you're creating your own way if there wasn't one there before. And then as a result, you are much better able to commune with your soul, because it's like you're giving it license to be able to speak to you, and you can actually hear it now. You're becoming the mystic, or you already are, and you're able to really intuitively sense into these things that your emotions are trying to tell you. I think it's clarity of emotion that really helps you to discern in this way, and giving quality time to your soul is going to be really important, because that's what's going to help you make these decisions and pursue this path forward, even though it's like it's destruction for construction. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of have to blow some stuff up to create what you want. Okay, let's get a coffee cup oracle or two. I feel those. Oh, there's 3, 4. Okay, that's more than I thought. But that's how it goes. I feel like this one needs to be first. Choices and indecision with the triangle. Yeah, so that's what I was getting from the 2 of Pentacles. It's like there's going to be a real physical choice that you need to make here that's coming right around the corner, group number 2. And it's going to feel maybe a little bit like a hard decision to make, because it's going against the status quo, or it challenges the system, or it challenges the way that you've kind of constructed things, or what other people think of you and what your life should look like. But it's going to allow you to feel into what's right for you. And I think you're going to have more time to play. That's what I heard, and that's what I feel. It's like it's going to be a lot more fun, and you're going to feel a lot fun and fancy free. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You're going to be fun and fancy free, but it's going to initially take some strength to get there. It's like they brought me back to the scene of you forging your way through this undergrowth in the forest. And it's like, it's hard, but it's a straight line to this beautiful meadow where there's fairies and unicorns and like little flower beds and things that, you know, and there's like little teacups full of sweet nectar. And it's such a beautiful, fun, playful, joyous place. And if you hadn't been willing to choose to go in that direction, even though it felt a little initially challenging, you wouldn't have been able to get there, because the path that was already sort of carved out went in the completely opposite direction, and it wouldn't have taken you there. It would have, they're showing me that it would have taken you to like this barren land where there wasn't a lot going on and everybody's kind of milling about zombie-like. These are extreme metaphors, but these are the images that they're giving me to try to get across to you or impress upon you the types of energy of these 2 choices, or two paths that you have kind of before you. So we have luck and money with coins. This may be a choice that involves money, because the choice card that really stood out to me initially, even though we have the other choice card here, was the 2 of Pentacles. So this does have to do with money for some reason. What? How? Let me see what these other 2 cards are. Directions, journey, and ship. You see what I'm saying? It's like you need to choose which direction feels right for you, and doing it from your heart and not what other people have presented to you or what you think should be for you. It's like really authentically listening to your soul. Yeah, I just keep getting that message of listening to your soul, being soul-led. I mean, that was the very first card. And this is, the soul is leading you in this direction, and it's leading you that way for a reason. So even though it might initially be a little bit tough, it's like oh man, is it going to pay off? Loyalty, determination with the dog. And look, he's got that, I think it's actually a tulip, but it could be a rose. And so there's something about the final rose. Loyalty and determination. It feels like, again, it's like you are being loyal to yourself by following and pursuing this inner calling, by trusting your intuition, by saying no to things that have kept you stuck and attached. I'm seeing, can you guys see? Yeah, the little octopus there that's kind of like clinging to his leg. And he's like, oh no, I don't have these cups that I was so attached to, and I feel like I needed them and I was dependent on them. But this dolphin's like, hey, look over here. There's this so much fun, like way better two things right here. And I think it's like you being loyal to yourself in this way and detaching from things that felt like they were clinging to you or you were clinging to them. And that's what allows you to really open your heart and to choose this thing that is going to free you from these limitations. It's like it's going to help you rebuild in a way. So yeah, we're going to get charms as well. So let me just kind of gather up these cards. We'll clear them away. I'm going to lay down a little charm mat that I'm trying out. I'm trying to find a way to get the charms on the table so that they're easy to pick up and also they don't make super loud noise when I put them down. Yeah, so we're just experimenting. Okay, group number 2, let's get your charms. Okay, so the first one I see here is the cat and the cherry blossoms. And this feels like, again, choosing a new direction. I just keep getting that message, but that's what I'm seeing. And it's like you're kind of looking at your options. And then we have the conch shell. This reminds me of listening to the call of your heart. Yes, again, we have that inner soul call that is being like, hey, this way. It's like Navi in Zelda, you know, in the game Zelda when she's with Link and going, hey, listen. It's your soul, it's trying to get you to go in this direction that's connected to a couple of things. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if this mat's going to be the best option. It's hard for me to like get them up still. So anyway, but you've got the star and the tree. So I feel like the star is this new direction, or this point of hope that's calling you forward, and it's guiding you. It's like you're following the star that's leading you to that little glen in the forest, because it's like you just feel this pull. You just feel this very deep in your bones feeling of like, I need to go this way. I need to go this way. And I know that there's something for me there. I can feel it. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to give up everything that I thought I wanted to go get it, but that's what I want. And people aren't necessarily going to understand that, but it's going to be worth it for me. And I think that's what's really going to create this growth for you and help you to expand. The trees are significant. What is that about? Oh, they said, look at the next charm, and you've got the hatchet and the trees. That's what I was seeing. It's like, remember the analogy of the machete in the forest. You're hacking your way through the underbrush. That's, I love it when that happens. Spirit just loves to confirm so that we can really see in real time and believe in the magic. And it's like, again, seeing is believing. But I think that in this case for you, group number 2, it's not about seeing is believing, it's feeling is believing. And if you can feel it and follow the path to that truth, you're going to see it, and then you're really going to believe it. But it's like you kind of need to trust yourself initially and let go of any attachment to what you thought you needed or what other people said that you needed or should do, and really just kind of do it on your own. Now I'm feeling called to the Astro Dice for you guys. We didn't get these for group 1, so let's get that going. Okay, first house. First house is about yourself. It is you choosing your own direction, being self-led. You can't make this shit up. This is so on point with your reading, group number 2. This is crazy. And then you have Pluto. Yeah, I think this one's Pluto. I'm trying to memorize the glyphs for the planets, and Pluto to me always looks like a little guy going, yay! Can you guys see that? Yeah. So I feel like you're going to feel liberated from this. Pluto is about transformation, death, and rebirth. It literally rules Scorpio, and we have Scorpio right here. Okay, it rules Scorpio, and it rules the death card, which you had. So this is Pluto, this is Scorpio energy, and it's yourself. You're transforming yourself. You're allowing a part of what you thought you wanted to die and fall away, and so that you can pursue a choice that feels so much more aligned with you at soul level. And it's going to really help you to reclaim your power. The power of destiny, I just heard. The star can be about destiny too. That's why your soul is calling you to this and bringing this to your attention. And it's right around the corner, group number 2. So I feel like you're going to be challenged. You're going to have to challenge authority. That's like that Tower card energy. You're going to challenge authority and step into your own authority. You're not going to listen to the status quo anymore. You're not going to follow the conventional path. You're going to do it your own way. And yeah, I did keep hearing this song in my head, and I'll mention it now. You can go your own way. You can go your own way. You can go your own way. Yeah, that's what's happening here, group number 2. You're going to go your own way. You're going to do it the way that you feel called to do it. And again, I don't think many people have done it this way. Maybe there's some. And if there are, I think maybe that's why there's a little bit of a trail forward through these trees, but it's still fairly overgrown because maybe the last person who went through there was a long time ago, and it's grown back in on itself, and you kind of have to do it for yourself. But it's going to be really lucky. And I think that if money is a concern or has been a concern in making these decisions or choices in the past, I think that actually this is going to lead to a lot more abundance than what you would get if you followed the conventional path. Yeah. It's also going to give you time freedom. I'm seeing financial freedom and time freedom. But it's like I said, it's like it takes strength. It feels to me like the example that's coming to mind is kind of like the entrepreneur's journey. Now, that doesn't have to be literal for you. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to quit your job and become an entrepreneur. But that's kind of the archetypal story or the journey, because being an entrepreneur is being self-led. It's doing it your own way. It is a struggle. It is a challenge. It's very difficult to be self-employed or be an entrepreneur because you're constantly sort of on this roller coaster up and down. You're always having to really clear the way forward, and you're doing it all yourself. So it's a lot of work, but it does create a lot of freedom. Like you get to choose how you want to start your day, finish your day, live your day. Like you get to go where you want, do what you want, work with who you want. It's very, very freeing and liberating. So I think that there's a new perspective that's right around the corner here that's going to shift how you make these choices, and the path that you're kind of following here are the one that you want to create. And you're going to forge your own way, and you're going to find that when you listen to that inner soul calling, you are going to experience a lot of abundance and personal power. Okay, so go through this death and rebirth and come out the phoenix, whatever it happens to look like for you, because as you transform yourself, you're going to see a lot of luck. That's what I see for you, group number 2. So I hope this reading helped. What's right around the corner? Absolute personal freedom and autonomy. Lots of luck. So many blessings to you in that. May you forge this path clearly with joy, and may it be very freeing for you. Love you guys. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose this beautiful white cluster crystal that I have here. Don't know what it is. Again, if you guys know what this one's called, can you put it in the comments and maybe even share the spiritual qualities of it or the metaphysical properties? Let's find out what card you chose in this What's Around the Corner reading. So you have Sophia, Divine Plan, Wisdom, Intelligence Within, and Destiny. I'm seeing the blossoming and blooming of this cosmic rose. There's something that is about to blossom in your life. Something that's been, they're showing me a rosebud that was really tight in on itself, and it's just unfurling. So something's about to unfurl. It's part of the divine plan. It's destined. Okay, let's find out what this is that's around the corner for you. You know, because we're talking about the rose, for the other groups, I got oracle cards, and I think we still will do that, but I'm feeling called right away to the final rose tarot. So let's get that here for you, group number 3. What's right around the corner? Insecure. 5 of Rings. Okay. That's 5 of Pentacles energy. And Reassuring Rose, 4 of Mirrors. Reassuring Rose. Okay, so it's like if there was something you were insecure about or you were worried about, the divine plan is going to come in and show you that no, there's a higher order intelligence to this situation, and it unfolding in the way that it is. And it's like the universe is reassuring you. Spirit is reassuring you and saying, no, it's okay. This is all part of the blooming process. And it's all right that there's some insecurity there because you can't see, right? She's blindfolded in this card. You can't see. And it's scary to have somebody shoot an arrow over the top of your head. But it's like the universe doesn't miss, is what I just heard. Yeah, the universe doesn't miss. Huh. So it's this reassurance that this is all going to unfold that is helpful here. Okay, they actually want me to go to a different deck. I was going to keep getting from that, but let's check out the other cards here. Yeah. What is right around the corner for group 3? Judgment. Wow. I mean, yeah, judgment is an intense moment. It's like the rapture. That's what they just showed me in my mind. What is that movie? This Is the End, with like Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill and all those guys, Danny McBride. It's kind of a brutal movie, and there's a part of me that doesn't like it, but I love all of those guys and their sense of humor, so I really like it. But they showed me the scene in that movie where it's like the rapture and all of these people are getting sucked up into heaven, and then like the big devil is there like stomping around. And the people who are left are like, oh my God. So I feel like maybe there's a fear of being left behind, or like the universe forgetting you, or your destiny being to be in this like hellscape. But that's not it. Group number 3, that's not it. That's not the divine plan. And again, they're like, they want to reassure you that the universe doesn't miss, and you have not been forgotten. You will not be left behind. This judgment that's happening in your life, and that's about to happen, I should say, because it's right around the corner, is going to be very magical. Like she's holding this magic in her hand. So it's going to be very magical. It's super, super destined. That's what judgment is, really. It's something that is it's like a little bit out of your control because it's part of the divine plan. But that's why they want you to know and give you, like, they're trying to basically just help you to feel a little bit more secure, because this is out of your hands and that can feel scary. But they're like, don't worry. It's all going to be okay. All right. Yeah, I do want to get one more from this deck, and then I think we'll get some other cards too. What else? What is right around the corner for group 3? The Hierophant. Love Esmeralda here. Hunchback of Notre Dame. I know that Sophia is your significator card, but I feel like the Hierophant is actually the significator card for whatever reason. I'm curious to know why. No, okay. We'll get this one next. Can I get clarifiers on why the Hierophant is here? Death card reversed. I just heard rebirth of faith. Okay, yeah, so it's like feeling reassured by God, by source, by the universe. The universe is going to reimburse you. That's what it felt like. If you felt like you were going to get shot through the head, or you were going to get left in this hellscape, or you were going to, be forgotten. Oh yeah. In the movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the song that I love and always makes me cry my eyeballs out is I think it's called The Forgotten One. I can't remember, but Esmeralda sings a song in the church, and she's walking through, and she's like, what about the forgotten ones? What about the people? Don't they matter too? Have you forgotten them, God? It's not all just these rich people who can afford to come to church. What about the gypsies? What about the people who are down on their luck? What about them? And now I'm being reminded of the show The Chosen, when Jesus goes and he spends all of his time with these people who are of these lower status roles, and they ask him, why me? Why did God choose me? And he responds, does God focus on the flock that are all together, or does he focus on the one sheep that got lost? And I almost want to cry saying that. So I feel like God, and whatever word I'm non-denominational on this channel. To me, God is just the easiest way of saying, source, universe, the great creator. Doesn't have to be religious, but God has not forgotten you, group number 3. You are not going to be left behind, and any of the struggles that you've been through are going to be transformed around the corner. This is part of the divine plan. There is wisdom to this, though you don't understand it. At soul level, it makes sense. And it's not necessarily what you deserve. It's just that there's a higher order intelligence here. And God wants you to be reassured that you are going to blossom and bloom, that you have not been forgotten, that the light will shine upon you too, that your needs will be met, that the pain and the death will lead only to rebirth, because that's what judgment is. It's like resurrection. So death and resurrection, like death and rebirth is rebirth, judgment is resurrection. Like, wow. Yes, you will not be forgotten. You are not forgotten, is what they just said. You are not forgotten. Oh, what is this? What is this concerning? What is this about? The Nine of Pentacles. Security. Security. Your sense of security, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, whatever it is, your security in faith, in God, in source, in your beliefs, your faith in your existence. It feels like a bit of an existential crisis that was creating some semblance of insecurity, like doubting that there was a plan, doubting that this was going to make sense in some way, but they're wanting to reassure you that there is an order to this, and that you are not forgotten, and that you will have your needs met, because the Nine of Pentacles is security in all forms. It's like self-security through inner discipline, through faith, through persistence. It's the security of the financial well-being to be able to be free and enjoy your life. It's the security of being fully present in the moment and experiencing life from or through the eyes of God. It feels like being blessed is what I just felt from it. Yeah, it's like you're going to be blessed. And that's part of the divine plan. Yeah. If you felt like you had to scrounge, because the gypsies here, you know, they're nomadic people, and it's like kind of just always living on the edge or fringes of society, not having enough to eat, not having a comfortable, secure place to lay your head every night. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. And it's like there's going to be a death of that and a resurgence or a rebirth into this more blessed life is what I'm feeling. The Empress, that's what I'm talking about. This is like wealth, abundance, creativity, having ample stores, and your needs being fully met, and being able to share that too. Being able to share that with people. And I feel like the universe is going to be offering up so much to you. Like, look at all these hands coming out of the edges of the card offering, oh, here's some slippers, here's some love, do you need a blanket? Do you need something? Do you need this? Do you need that? It's like being weighted on hand and foot by the universe. That's also part of the divine plan. That's part of the intelligence of this unfolding trajectory in this lifetime for you, group number 3. But it's like, because there's been a blindfold on you and you haven't seen this manifest necessarily in a physical way yet, it's like there's fear there, but they're reassuring you that this is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. I'm wondering about timing. I wonder, can we get timing from these 3 cards, Spirit? Yes. Okay. The 8 of Pentacles. I meant Cups. The 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Huh. And the 10 of Swords. I'm going to move the Death card over here because it feels like these two are meant to kind of be together. And the 5 of Wands as well. 5 of Wands. Okay, so in terms of timing, I saw Scorpio I saw the scorpion on this lady's shirt, and it reminded me of Scorpio. So it could be around Scorpio season, which could be in October, November. At the time that I'm filming this, it's the end of November. So this could be like right around the corner, or this could be a year's out, or it's a timeless reading. So whenever you happen to watch this, could be around November or October. I also just got Pisces season. So something significant happening in March, perhaps. But I feel like you're really kind of at the end of it right now. And this is like this is the death moment, you know, but it leads to that judgment. It leads to that resurrection. It leads to being like called up into the big leagues. Kind of what it feels like, being called up into the big leagues. Yeah. And it's part of the divine plan. I just keep getting that. Group number 3, it's part of the divine plan. And they want you to just feel that sense of security in that knowing, having heard this message, being called to this reading, like you can trust this plan, because you're, not only is it happening for you, but it's also happening through you. And the universe and the divine are working on your behalf. And you can trust yourself to be able to put yourself in the positions you need to be, because the 8 of Cups is kind of like you directing your own life. Like he's holding on to the motor here and steering the boat. And even though there's these storms and these big waves are crashing, really he's like, it's okay because I'm in control. So it's like giving yourself a sense of control over what feels out of your control is going to be very helpful and allow you to relax into this security that is really wanting to come in. It's like right around the corner, but you've been really like laid out here. Okay, you've been having a hard time. Group number 3, at least that's what I'm getting from the energy. I hope that's not the case, but I mean I can see it and feel it here. It's like it's been hard to find footing. It's been hard to get your legs under you, and it felt like there was competition for like this one little plot of land. Everybody's fighting over it, and like you kept getting butted off of it. Yeah, that's exactly what they're showing me. It's like all of these people scrabbling on this one platform and fighting for their piece of the pie. And it's like you just kept coming up empty. And you may have felt like, why am I the runt of the litter? Why am I getting shunted? Why am I not having my needs met? Why is everybody else getting that piece of the pie and I'm not? I must have been forgotten. I must be unworthy. I must, I'm just going to have to exist in this perpetual state of fear, and I can't trust the universe, and I can't trust myself. All of that is ending. Group number 3 is done. That phase of your life was for a reason, but it's like this renewal of faith is coming in, and it's like the heavens are opening up and the light is shining on you finally, and you're seeing for the first time, maybe even in your entire life, that you can have faith, and that hope that you did hold, even if it was just a teeny tiny little ray of hope in the bottom of your heart, it was worth it because it's coming true. The magic is unfolding, and you're going to see the light shining on you because you didn't give up, and because you didn't lose hope. Like it felt like you went through so much that it felt like you should have, almost. It's like you have every right to have given up hope, or to have questioned your hope, or to have experienced this insecurity, but you didn't fully give it up. There was like a little flickering flame of hope that even if it dimmed all the way down, it was still in there. And it's like the sky is about, the dawn is coming. It's, it's cliche, but they say it's always darkest before the dawn. That's what I'm seeing here, is that the dawn is about to rise, and it's been a dark night of the soul for sure, but you're about to get your piece of the pie. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is kind of gather up these cards, and we're going to get the charm chart out and see what else is around the corner for you, group number 3. And I'm trying out this new mat thingy, and I used it in the other 2 readings, and I'm still kind of like undecided on whether I like it or not. It's kind of hard to pick the things up off of it, but it doesn't make noise when I put the charms down, so that's nice. All right, group 3, what else they need to know? Okay, first thing that's really catching my eye is the strawberry jar. It's like strawberry smoothie. Oh, I just got a message. Somebody might be drinking a strawberry smoothie when they're watching this reading. This could be literal, but I think really metaphorically, it represents like this sweetness. Again, nourishment, your needs being met, the divine plan, making sure that you're provided for and creating that sense of security for you. Abundance, I get abundance from that very Empress type energy. The conch shell. Oh, that's the message that they wanted to deliver to you today, which is why you were drawn to this reading. Yeah, that's the message. They called you to this reading today because this is part of the divine plan, and you needed to hear this, and you needed to know that you have not been forgotten. They keep repeating that over and over again. They really want you to know that you have not been forgotten and you're about to bloom. Your needs are going to be met. You have the tree. There's going to be some massive growth right around the corner. So you're going to see the stable roots that you've been laying all this time, even when other people were hacking away at them. It's interesting because we had the tree and the hatchet, but from two different charms in group number 2, and it was a completely different message. For them, it was like forging a path through the undergrowth to their soul-led calling. For you guys, it's a completely different message. See how cool symbolism is that you can have the same images or the same symbols, but they can be a completely different message. For you guys, it's like people have been hacking away at you. And again, it's like you felt like every time you tried to grow, somebody would come in and be like, nah, and like hamper your growth. And yeah, that literally did happen. I feel like it did happen. But what they want you to know now is that right around the corner, all of those people are being banished from your life, and you're elevating out of that. They just showed me the balloons. You're elevating out of that. You're like lifting off to a higher territory where they can't get to you anymore, and you're going to be free to really just grow. And that's when that blossoming and blooming is going to happen. It's like you finally are able to see the top parts of your growth bloom and blossom, where you've been putting in all this effort underneath the surface. And that's why it kind of felt like maybe this is never going to happen, because that growth just took so long to see, but it is. And the balloons are also reminding me of celebration. So there's going to be something to celebrate here. You're going to be very, very well taken care of. They're showing me a birthday party with like a cake table, but there's like cupcakes and cake and candies. It's like all these sweet things. So again, I feel like you're going to be nourished, and it's going to be very sweet. It's going to be like that 9 of Pentacles and Empress energy, where it's like you're able to indulge a little bit and really feel like you have more than enough, instead of being in this position where you were starving and really feeling hopeless and helpless. And now it's like, no, you're actually going to have way more than enough, and you're going to feel super, super relieved and overjoyed. I want to see what this one is. I love you, and the infinity sign. Yeah, I just keep, God loves you. They want me to say it, so I'm going to say it. God loves you. And they're going to prove it. That's what Spirit just told me. God loves you, and they're going to prove it. So keep the faith. Keep your hope alive. Look to the horizon, because this is right around the corner, group number 3. It's right around the corner, and you have 2 butterflies. So this is like massive transformation that is seriously moving you forward in life, and you are going to blossom and bloom. Look, you've got the rose and the crystal heart. It's going to be super well worth all of the struggle that you've been through. And they just gave me the word promise. This is a promise, is what they just said. It's part of the divine plan. It's part of the divine intelligence. So God is promising you, Source is promising you, forever. The infinity sign means forever too. So there's something that it's like you're forever going to be blessed from here on out, because you were able to endure the hard things, and you were able to look beyond the pain and the suffering and the hopelessness, and choose that tiny ray of hope, and keep your eye on the horizon. And it was that faith. And it might have even just been at a soul level, because it's almost like maybe your human mind lost faith, but your heart kept it. Your heart kept it, and your soul kept it. And then you have the eye in the bones. Yeah, your soul kept this, because it was mentally and physically very challenging for you, but your soul kept the hope alive. I'm feeling pain, like physical pain. Have you guys been struggling with like inflammation or chronic pain or chronic illness of some kind? Nourishment could be part of that, like physically, literally. Your nourishment is going to be improving. Or the type of care that you're getting is going to improve. But they keep showing me like different foods as examples. So it could be literal, it could be just metaphor, but that's what helps the rose to bloom, is the proper nourishment, both at the soil level and also through the sun, because light is food to plants. So there's something about nourishment here and food being important. I want to get clarifiers on that. What is this nourishment? No, wait, look, okay. What? Eight of Swords, but the reason I'm freaking out a little bit is because the other one that you had, where is it? Yeah. What are the odds that in your reading you have two people who are blindfolded that are getting things thrown at them? It's like this massive game of trust. Like, I trust the skill of the divine to not run me through with an arrow or a sword in this game of target practice. It's like the divine better hit their mark, otherwise I'm going to be the casualty. And you've had to remain in this position of faith for quite an extended period of time. And it's been very challenging on you mentally, is what I'm seeing. Very challenging on you mentally. And you haven't necessarily been able to see that hope very clearly, even though your heart kept it alive, your soul kept it alive, but you didn't give up. So what is this about nourishment? What is this about nourishment? King of Pentacles. Having your needs met, so having a sense of security, because that's, insecure security. So it's not even nourishment in a physical sense. It could be if it applies to you. Take it if it resonates, but I'm seeing it. Oh yeah, they're showing me the grapes. They keep showing me sweet things like fruits and cakes and cupcakes. What the sugar? I don't know. But if it's not about the food, this is about the money, and it's having the resources you need to be able to feel secure, to be able to meet your needs and to buy the groceries you need. Have you been struggling to buy groceries, Group 3? Has your nutrition suffered because of that? Have your living expenses gotten out of hand? And it's like you've been trust falling with the universe, like, okay, just, help me out, God, I need you. And God's like, okay, yeah, we're going to spin you around in this target, and I'm going to throw some swords at you, but I'm going to prove to you that you can trust me. And there's going to be a reward that comes from that. So, what? The Knight of Cups. They keep emphasizing the roses. In every card, they were emphasizing the flowers. In this one, it was these like little white flowers in the corner. In this one, there's roses in his hand. You have the rose there. You had something about, blossoming and blooming. Yeah, I keep getting that. That was the message from the very beginning, right? So yeah, you're definitely going to be blossoming and blooming. And you're going to be freed. The bottom of the deck, you have the Devil card. So you're going to be freed from lack and insecurity. You are freeing yourself. And, well, I actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that statement. I don't think you're, like, doing anything different in this approaching scenario. I think you're doing the same thing, because your role is just to stand there and trust. But that is what you're doing. That's what you're doing that is allowing the chains to be broken, and that's freeing you and setting you free forever. Like, it's not just in this lifetime. This is like a soul level freedom that you have been working toward. This has been a soul level test, and I think that it was, again, part of the divine plan, and you may have even been involved in setting up this plan at some level to test yourself at soul level. Can I have faith through the darkest of times? Is that something that my soul can do? And if the answer was yes, which I think it is, because you're here in this reading, and you wouldn't be if you didn't have some kind of hope and faith in the divine, because we're literally talking to spirit right now, then you would have had to kind of repeat that pattern until you chose to have the faith that would allow you to really kind of like solidify that and secure that for yourself at soul level. It's kind of like you wanted to test yourself. You wanted to test your skill. You're a very powerful soul, group number 3. And you wanted to see, can I go through all of this suffering and still remain hopeful? And if I can, you'll receive like that long awaited gratification. And yes, it's going to manifest physically through security of your resources and physical health, and breaking the chains of any of that, the contracts or the karma or the curses that were keeping you like in this stuck position where you felt like you were going to be left behind or having not enough. And in this next stage that's right around the corner, you're going to see a lot of growth, and that's going to carry forward at soul level into the incarnations to come. This is a really profound soul transformation. It's not just a human experience. This is part of a much, much bigger plan and a much bigger picture. So hopefully just even having this perspective will help you. I think that's kind of like the eye in the bones there. It's like having this perspective, it goes way beyond time. Yeah, it's infinite. So this is huge. So congratulations, group number 3. I want to say you've made it. And what's right around the corner is this security that you've been really trust falling into the universe looking for. And you're going to get that. And you're going to blossom, you're going to bloom, and you're going to see all of your needs be met in such a beautiful and very well-deserved way. So I'm sending you so much love and blessings to see the resources you need, whether they're metaphysical or physical, come into effect. So mote it be. Many blessings, guys. Thank you for being here. I love you, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye.